Hi, I'm Robin Elander, Operations Director for the Santa Barbara's Soul Success Summit. I'm here with Kai, who is a coach with the Business Confidante. Tell us a little bit about your business, Kai.
Hi, Robin. So I own the Business Confidante, and basically what I do is I do coaching and consulting for small businesses, and I also work with corporate companies with team building, or not necessarily team building, but team coaching, and helping them build a stronger, more productive team.
Oh, that's so important. What types of things do you go about doing to make that possible?
Are we talking about the
Making stronger
personal
teams.
clients? Pardon?
Making stronger teams.
Oh, so we go through leadership and what that really looks like, because you can see that there's a lot of like tactics and strategies out there, but in essence, leadership is a lot more than that. So I try to make it really simple for people, because oftentimes I think, especially in corporate, you kind of get lost in meetings and whatnot, and it's just trying to move the bottom line. And leadership is really important, but it's something that kind of gets lost in the messaging because there's so much other things that fall into place. So I help teams kind of navigate that. But really the passion that I have is just, and this is what I do for entrepreneurs and for those teams, is creating an environment where they're thriving, whether it's themselves as the entrepreneur and the owner, or if it's in the team, because the impact that that has is huge. I remember being in business before I was in business, I used to do corporate, and I worked in corporate for about 5 years. And I used to wake up before the sun and come home after the sun went down. And I barely saw my kids. And so for me, what I started to realize is that it has this huge effect on what would happen when I went home. If I had a really great day at the office, then I didn't have as much of a load going home. But when I had really horrible bosses or just bad kind of team dynamics, then I just had no energy, no time, my fuse was super short. And so for me, that's really what I try to help people, is how can you create an environment where people are thriving? And that's what I do for teams. But for those people who are, small business owners or entrepreneurs who are, in the business all by themselves, it's how do you create a life where you're thriving? Because I think it's very easy to get wrapped up in, I got to do all the things, and then you get lost, right? You've been doing it for, 5 years, you're successful, but you're overwhelmed. You don't have the life that you were hoping for. And that's because oftentimes we're not very intentional about it.
And so with the different organizations you're working with, is that geographically close to you? Do you travel to your business? Who are the types of clients you're working with?
Well, so for the teams, I travel to them typically. If one of the teams, I do group coaching, and that's something that has been really successful for the team itself. And basically what that looks like is it's online. So I sit right here like I'm doing now, and then there's about 10 to 12 of us that meet online, and then we go through the group coaching program. And so that's something that I do for teams who maybe they don't need somebody in-house, but they want to see their leadership start to soar. And so that's something I do. I offer that on the side for them. And then there are some places where I'll go in and I do an assessment. And usually that's a little bit of a smaller business environment where I'm doing the assessment. And for the other folks where I'm just doing one-on-one business coaching, if it's here on an island, then we try to meet in person because it's a nice connection. But I do travel as well. Like, I'm going to California to see you guys. And so when I'm there, it's also creating those opportunities where I can meet people and help them with their businesses.
And here on the island, where exactly are you?
Oh, I'm on Maui.
Oh, fabulous. So people definitely probably want to come see you whenever they can.
Often it's via camera or, the computer, but, if they can, it's always awesome to be able to meet in person.
That's great. So tell us a little bit more about your business and what is really the main thing you focus on with people and what you're excited about with coming to this whole summit.
Well, my main goal with my business is to help women who feel overwhelmed or overworked and just kind of feel like they're missing out on life, and help them really get a handle on their business. And I feel like I remember what it was like to be there, and then starting up your business, you think, okay, now I'm going to have time for myself, but you don't get the traction you need, so you're working all these jobs, you know what I mean, just to sustain. And so it's, if I can get somebody ahead, of that whole
curve, right
there, then I've done my job. I also help women who've had businesses for a while but are stagnant. And a lot of times, people don't understand what coaching is really. And at the end of the day, all that coaching is you as a human being, you've done everything you can to get to the level that you're at. It's not like you said, oh, I just give up. You have tried and tried. And coaching just brings another perspective. It brings somebody who's not so close to their business or their life to give them that perspective and to give them that 360 vision and show them that there are different ways. But it really takes somebody with, an open mind to enter into the coaching process, because it can be very intimate. So it is working with people who are open to that. And usually it's people who are really frustrated already and ready to try something new. So that's where I step in.
That's such a great way to describe that, because it's right. People do take themselves to a certain place, and then to kind of get to the next place, you do need that support system and somebody to bounce things off of to take it to the next level. So that's so beautiful that you offer that. And are you working with mostly women, or do you also work with men as well?
I work with men as well. So my vision or my goal is, I work with a lot of women, and that's mainly because I know what it was like to go through that as a working mom. But I'm also there for men who are, because there are a lot of great men in the world who just don't know how to navigate the system. And so I'm there for them as well, because they're trying to have a life too, right? They're not trying to be stuck behind. And if I can make these women and these men better leaders, that's going to pour out into their team. For sure. It's going to pour out into their families, and it's just going to make the world so much better and their community that much stronger.
Wonderful. So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can find me at, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. I love Instagram, but you can find me on Facebook, and it would be the Business Confidante with an E at the end.
Okay.
But I also have a website that they can go to, and everything is labeled The Business Confidante. So even my email is kai@thebusinessconfidante.com.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we're so excited to have you as a speaker at this whole Success Summit, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful holiday. We're filming this right before the end of the year. And thank you, Kai. It's wonderful to connect with you.
Thank you so much, Robin. I'll meet you in April.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.